Hello, you guys, and welcome back to Mystical Visions. So, today we're going to take a look at what's next for you in love. It's been a while since I've done a love reading, and I just felt cool to do it today. So, we're going to take a look not just at what your current situation is in love, but also looking forward to 30 days from now, 3 months from now, and 6 months from now. We'll pull some tarot to give us some clarity and oracle cards for each time frame to give us some advice. So, as always, I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled your cards. For pile number 1, we have this citrine. For pile 2, we have a blue sodalite. And for pile number 3, we have a jade. Beautiful. All right, so as always, timestamps are down in the video description below. Take a second with these cards. I'll give you a moment just in a sec. See which pile or which crystal calls to you today. If this reading resonates, then please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps the channel out. And yeah, without much further ado, I will see you at your pile. Pile number 1, hello, welcome. So if you picked this beautiful citrine crystal, if we can focus, that'll be great, thank you. Then this is your reading about what's next in love. I apologize for the glare on this card. There is literally nothing I can do. It's one of the ceiling lights. Okay, so I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled your cards. We're going to start by taking an overall look at your energy in love at the moment, and you can use these first 2 cards as confirmation. Then we'll look at what your love life is looking like in 30 days, in 3 months, and in 6 months. This is going to be a timeless reading, so when I say 30 days, it means 30 days from the day you're watching, and so on and so forth. So your current energies, we have the moon. And clarifying the moon, we have the 3 of Cups. Interesting. So the moon usually talks about not having clarity, and the 3 of Cups talks about celebration. You might currently be in sort of like the in-between player stage of your love life, which, hey, more power to you. Where you're kind of like, I have a few options. I'm not really sticking to any particular one. I'm just kind of trying to play the field and see what's out there and try and find what I'm looking for. I feel like that's the main energy you're in, is trying to figure out what you actually want in love, in a relationship, in a connection. You're sort of trying to get your own ducks in a row, and it's sort of, you've probably correctly identified this as an important step towards actually finding the right person or people, I guess, for you. You need to go out there and explore. And you need to figure out what you actually like and what you're into, what you're looking for. So at the moment, you might be in a place of not quite knowing what you're looking for, but you're trying to figure it out. And that might involve going out a lot, partying a lot, celebrating a lot, and just taking a look at what's out there. So if that resonates with what you're going through, then this is definitely your pile. Let me just scooch my chair lower. Oh, that's better. So, what can you expect in the next 30 days in your love life? We have the 6 of Coins in reverse. And to clarify that, we have the 2 of Swords in reverse. Interesting. It seems like in the next month or so, you're stepping into a place of not giving away your energy quite so much and not wanting quite so many options. So it could very well be that you find one person that you sort of want to start focusing on within the next month. Because with the Six of Coins, it usually talks about generosity, about giving your energy away, giving money away to people who need it, and that kind of thing. And it almost feels like that's the energy you're in right now, where you are giving so much of yourself. You're putting yourself out there so much in order to try and find someone who might be attracted to your energy, which is fair enough. And within a month or so from now, it feels like you're starting to tighten that up a little bit. You're trying to draw in more. And with the Two of Swords in reverse, it's like, it's not because there's like too many options out there. It almost feels like you're narrowing the pool down. And you're kind of setting your sights on one specific person, one specific option, where it's not like you need to like close your eyes and pick from a random pool. It's like there's something specific that's attracting you. It could also just be that you're finally deciding on what your non-negotiables are, what your deal breakers are, what you absolutely need from a relationship, what you're looking for. You're finally getting clarity on it, which is kind of a good progression from the energy that we're currently in. So that's looking really good for you, Pile 1. And we have, oh, interesting, the Lion Spirit in reverse, be generous of spirit. What did we just say about you kind of reeling your energy in a little bit? You might start to feel a little bit burnt out, I'm going to be honest, from your current activities, for lack of better words, where you're going out a lot, you're meeting a whole bunch of new people. In about a month from now, you might start to feel like, I want to go inwards some. I want to kind of take my energy in a little bit and replenish, retreat, perhaps retreat with someone that you found during these activities, you know what I mean? But in either case, you're not being quite as generous of spirit as you are currently. In a month from now, you're starting to like draw up the bridge a little bit, retreating into your castle a little more, and kind of gathering yourself a little more, resting, recuperating. It could very well be, wow, that is a loud bike, I'm so sorry. It could very well be that you're finding someone that makes you want to draw your energy back in, where you're like, okay, I don't really want to look anymore. I'm happy with this person, or I found the person that I'm looking for. But in either case, I see you in a slightly less wild social energy in a month from now. So with that said, let's dive into 3 months from now, because I'm curious to see what this reeling your energy back looks like. We have the 10 of Cups in reverse, clarified by the 8 of Swords in reverse. Okay. Okay, this right now, I feel like this reading is starting to feel a little casual. Because with the 10 of Cups in reverse, it does feel like you're 3 months from now, you're not immediately gonna be like, oh, I am ready for like 100% commitment. I'm ready for marriage with this person, whoever, or, you know, with a bunch of people that are around you that, you know, you're 100% firm on a future with people. But with this 8 of Swords in reverse, it's like you're coming out of your shell. And that's interesting because We have you in that energy right now where you're out and about, and then you're retreating, and then you're coming back out here. That's interesting, part one. It's like a wave of like you're giving a lot of your energy and then you're coming back and then you're giving again and you're coming back again. But with the Ten of Cups in reverse, I don't think you're quite at the point where you want to settle down yet. In 3 months from now, that doesn't mean you don't have anyone that's interesting or anything like that. With the Ten of Cups in reverse, a lot of people like to think of that as a bad omen, or like, oh, this relationship is not going to work out, or anything like that. But the Ten of Cups, in its essence, is about ultimate joy and fulfillment. And it feels like you're not quite there yet, which is fair enough, because 3 months is not nearly enough time to know if someone is the one for you. I mean, if that's happened to you, good for you. But if you're here, chances are probably not. But with the Ten of Cups in reverse, it doesn't mean that this is never going to work out or this person is not the one for you. It's just that we don't know yet. But with the Eight of Swords in reverse, this is actually a good sign, because if you do end up with a person within 3 months from now, it seems like they are pulling you out of your shell a little bit. And that's excellent news, because it means that there is enough of a connection where you're starting to feel safe. You're starting to feel comfortable around them, and you're starting to be able to let down your guard and that kind of thing. And also, what's interesting is that if we look at this as a progression, assuming that you do end up finding someone in the next month or so, there's like you going out, partying, all of that, you're retreating, potentially with this person, and having your quiet, private honeymoon phase. And then this is you coming back out into the world where it's not quite as, closed off. It's not quite as tightly knit as you have been this whole time. Whatever happens though, whether there is a person, whether there isn't, the point is you're still open to growth and potential here. It's not like you're closed off, or you're like 100% like, oh, this is definitely the person for me, or 100% like, this is definitely not the person for me. Obviously, follow your gut, but it does seem like in about 3 months, you're not quite sure, but you are definitely stepping out of any obstacles you might have put in your own path when it comes to love. This could also indicate that your understanding of your ideal end game scenario is changing. It's 22:33 as I'm saying this, like on the clock. So if that means anything to you, maybe there's like an 11-month age gap, 11-year age gap between you and whoever's coming in next. But regardless, with the Ten of Cups in reverse, it could also indicate that maybe your definition of your happy ever after might evolve over this next 3-month period. To clarify or to explain all of that, you have, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. Yeah, it's that same energy of like coming out of your shell, of realizing that you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you have to change who you are in order to conform. And what's interesting is both these swords cards are in reverse, and both of them are blindfolded. It does feel like you're opening your eyes to more truths about yourself and about what you're looking for in love, what your expectations are, and how they are changing over time, more specifically. Because it does feel like there is a level of maturity happening through the next 3 months, where you may start with a very basic checklist, and you may experiment around, meet a few people, have a bit of fun, all of that. Go back in, see what you learned from this, realize that maybe your paradigm has shifted now. Maybe what you 100% needed in the past, you're not quite so fixed upon, but there are new and different priorities moving forward. And that causes you to come out of your shell and really just expect something very different to what you initially expected out of a relationship. And in doing that, you might realize that actually your expectations might not be what's currently generally expected. And maybe that's why you may have not found your person quite yet. You may have higher standards, which is always excellent news, because it means that you have higher self-worth, and that will never ever drive you the wrong way. Or perhaps you're just realizing that you want something just completely different to what people traditionally want in a relationship, and you're starting to realize that that might not be anyone's cup of tea that you've come across before, but you're starting to make your peace with that. And what's great about that, Part 1, is it narrows your pool quite a bit, and that's a good thing, because then you're not wasting your time on people that you know are going to be fundamentally incompatible with you. A lot of the times when people have low standards, it's quite easy to get caught up in every single person that comes your way. But when you maintain a higher standard of entry into your life, it's a lot easier to just weed out people who don't match it, right? And then you know that you're only getting the cream of the crop, because to get to you, they had to like climb up a tower, fight a dragon, all of that good stuff. And I see you really embracing this idea of what you want, not everyone can provide. And that's not your problem, that's their problem. If someone was meant for you, they would fundamentally be a good match. And if they weren't, they would actively make the effort to try and grow into the person that you need them to be, just as you will try and grow into the person they need you to be. Right? It needs to be an equal give and take. And I see you coming to a place in your mind where you've decided that you are not going to take handouts anymore. You're not going to take the first thing that comes your way anymore. You're going to bide your time. You're going to wait and watch. And you're going to allow people to work for you, to work for your attention, to work for your time. And that is huge. So finally, let's take a look at 6 months from now. How does this affect your love life? We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. A lot of reversals, and that's clarified by the Sun in reverse. Okay. So the Queen of Cups in reverse is interesting because the Queen of Cups is the only card in the suit of cups that has a lid, or like it's covering her cup. And to have that in reverse kind of tells me that you are now not even bothering to hide what you expect out of a relationship. You're not even worried about offending people by putting your standards out there. You're not even shy about it anymore. You know what you want, and you're not holding that back. You're not tempering yourself in order to please someone else or in order to not feel lonely. But to be clarified with the Sun in reverse, the Sun in reverse usually talks about a little bit of pessimism, a little bit of darkness. Maybe you're starting on a dark night of the soul journey, Part 1. And yours might involve a lot of working on the themes of loneliness, of not settling, and of holding your standards high despite the fact that not many people can cross that barrier to get to you. It doesn't feel like anyone new is coming your way 6 months from now, per se. That doesn't mean you won't have someone in your life. I mean, you could still very well be seeing this person that you've been seeing since a month from now, and then 6 months from now you could very well be with them. You could meet someone along the way, but it almost feels like you're doing a lot of shadow work here, particularly when it comes to your love life. You might be someone who struggles to explain what you want, or you might be someone who is quite hesitant to ask for help, to ask for love, affection, attention, all of that. And as a result, you've kind of settled for relationships that don't give you what you want because you never put forth your desires and demands, right? And 6 months from now, I see you doing some very heavy shadow work where you're going inwards and oh, that's interesting because we start with the moon upright and we end with the sun in reverse. The sun is usually clarity, so to have that in reverse, maybe you're going back inwards. Yeah, it's that wave pattern where you're out and then you're going in and then you're coming out again, you're going in again. Like, do you see how this person is like, here I am, I'm out here looking out at the world. This is what I have to offer. And I don't really care if you don't want it. The people that will want it and the people that need it will find it, whatever. And then here you're coming back into yourself. It does feel like the next few months that are coming your way, Halwan, you're sort of stepping into a very introspective time in your life, and that could affect every area of your life, including your love life. Now, again, I don't want you to worry about these two cards being in reverse, because it's all about context, and also whatever is fated to happen is going to happen, whether you see it coming or not, and whether you want it to or not. Regardless, it does feel like you're going inwards again, and you're doing a lot of sort of questioning what you want, who you are in relationships or even in general, and then you kind of apply that to how you want to be in relationships. In either case, though, it does feel like you're learning a lot about yourself over the next 6 months. And we have Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah, a lot of okay, so like I was saying, it does feel like you may in the past have had a lot of one-sided relationships, and that's because you struggle to put forward what you need, and you're coming into a point sorry, you're coming into a point in your life where you're realizing that the reason you didn't put yourself out there as your true self is because you didn't quite love your true self the way you should, and therefore you thought no one would love your true self the way it deserves to be loved. And then over the next 6 months, I see you sort of cocooning a little bit, sort of embracing your inner truth, your inner beauty, who you are. And then, within the next, year or two, we're not looking that far ahead, but more than 6 months at least, you're sort of blossoming into a butterfly. And you're making peace with your truth. You're making peace with what you like, what you don't like. I'm also, okay, this might be a sensitive subject and I don't want to trigger anyone, but some of you might be coming out. Okay? Just putting that out there. It's a very general reading. It doesn't have to apply to you if you don't want it to. But, so it's things like that. It feels like a major shift in who you are and who you want to be perceived as. Maybe that's the sun in reverse as well, because the sun in astrology is what you project out into the world, and your sun sign is what the world perceives you as. So to have that in reverse kind of might indicate that you're trying to change what you project out into the world. You're changing how people perceive you just completely. And that's a beautiful thing, but it does come from a lot of shadow work. Now, obviously, time is relative, and this doesn't have to stretch across 6 months. It doesn't have to be as little as 6 months. It could be longer. It could be shorter. But it does feel like you're going on an inner journey. And it will start with a lot of oscillating, being extroverted, feeling introverted, extroverted, and introverted again. But in either case, that fluctuation, whenever it happens, I want you to make a note of that and take that as a sign that you're about to experience a little bit of introspection, or a lot of bit of introspection, a lot of shadow work coming your way. But that's a good thing, because it means that you're ready for an upgrade. Okay, Panel 1? So that's your reading for your love life going ahead. It turned out to be more of a general life reading, but apply it to your love life how you see fit. I hope it resonated, and if it did, please remember to comment below how it resonated for you. Subscribe to my channel for more readings. Thank you so much for being here today and spending some time with me and sharing your energy and letting me read for you. I really do hope it helped. Stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Pile 2, hello, welcome to your reading. Today we're looking forward to what's coming in your love life. So if you picked this beautiful Sodalite crystal that we apparently don't want to focus on, there we go, then this is your reading. So I've gone ahead and set out your cards. We're going to start by looking at a general overview of where your love life is right now. And you can use this as confirmation to make sure that this is your pile. Then we'll look at your love life 30 days from now, or a month from now, 3 months from now, and 6 months from now. This is timeless, so it doesn't matter when you're watching it. It's 1 month from when you're watching it, 3 months from when you're watching it, and 6 months. Okay, so let's start with a general overview. We have the Ace of Wands, and that is clarified by Judgment. Okay, I think I know why you're here today. You've recently felt a massive nudge to dive into the dating pool. It feels like it's like something in you has awoken after a very long time and is kind of pushing you to get back out there. And it's 22:55 as I'm saying that, which 2 5s are 5 is a number of change. So you might have recently got out of something, and after a long time of healing, you're now starting to feel like you're ready for something new, and you're ready to usher in some change, particularly in your love life. Because with the Ace of Wands, there is that inspiration energy, the start of something new. I'm hearing that High School Musical song. This could be the start of something new. You might find yourself at a karaoke bar thing, and you might meet someone there. But with the Judgment, it does feel like this is divinely guided. Judgment talks about divine intervention. It talks about, hearing the call, about rising back up. So, and also in a lot of ways about karmic retribution. So it does feel like if you've just come out of a karmic relationship, this burst of inspiration is your reward for working through all that karmic baggage with whoever you were with. But if that doesn't apply, it could just be that you're hearing the call to go back out there and you're following your muse, you're following your gut when it comes to dating and love in general. So if that sounds like where you're at right now, then hello, you're in the right place. So let's take a look 30 days from now or a month from now, what your love life is looking like. We have the Fool, we love her, and we have the Hanged Man, both Aquarius energies. Well, I think a lot of people debate the Fool because it is card number 0, but the Hanged Man is for sure Aquarius energy. It feels like you're going back out there with a whole new lens on dating. Whatever situation you've come out of has taught you so much that your entire perspective of what a healthy relationship looks like and what you want out of a relationship is different. It's completely different to what you're used to. This is giving me Cinderella vibes because this says 0 and this says 12. Like, this is the major arcana card number 0. This is card number 12. And both of those could indicate midnight. So on a 24-hour clock, on a 12-hour clock, you might meet someone at midnight. Very Cinderella. But in either case, it feels like the start of something new. This very like fresh energy just ushering into your life. And it's very, very exciting, Paltu. I'm so excited for you. There is so much you have to look forward to. And the fact that you're coming in with such a positive, such an optimistic energy is going to do you wonders. Because a lot of people, when they're out in the dating pool, tend to approach it in a very pessimistic sense of, oh, there's really not much out there. I guess I'll have to settle for the best of what my town has to offer, what the internet has to offer, whatever. But you are coming in with, let's do this. It's been a while. I'm back in the game. I'm so excited. I am ready to usher in something new. And I am ready to go out there and meet new people and learn new things and, hang out with a new crowd. It does feel like that. You might have just undergone massive transformation. Like your life, your social circle is just completely different now. And it almost feels like this comes from a very long dark night of the soul sort of situation. But with the Hanged Man, you have a whole new worldview. 3 out of your 4 cards so far are major arcanas. This is significant, and this is very divinely guided, very divine timing-y. So you're here with a whole new perspective. I feel like even though you're a lot wiser now, you still have that optimism that like beginners have, that young people have. It's like you haven't let your lessons jade you, and that is huge, Paltu, because it takes a lot of courage to be in that headspace of, I'm wise, I've wisened up to the ways of the world, but that doesn't mean I hate everyone and everything. I am still open-minded, and that is a powerful energy to be in. So absolutely pat yourself on the back every day for the next 30 days. This is your assignment because you are doing incredible, Paltu. And your oracle card is Swan Spirit in reverse. Time for a deep dive. Now, usually, I think according to the book, this talks about you need to look deeper and you'll find answers and stuff. But in this context, to have this in reverse kind of tells me that you've done your deep diving. It's over, it's in the past, and that's why it's come out in the reverse, where you've gone inwards, you've done all your hermit mode, you've done your shadow work, you've done all of it, you've got clarity now, you've got inspiration, you've got energy again, you're ready to go out there. And also your advice was probably to not jump into anything too quickly, because for this deep dive bit to be in reverse, it's like, don't go too deep too quickly. Don't overcommit to anything. Just have your fun, keep everything surface level in the next 30 days, because you don't want to drag yourself down. You're still testing out your new understanding of relationships and of what you want and that kind of thing. So don't let yourself be tied down too quickly, because there might be a danger of that a little bit. Just something to keep in mind. But in general, Aquarius energy is quite social. It's quite outgoing. It's quite friends from all walks of life. So you might find that you're ushering in a lot of new friends as well around this time in the next month or so. And definitely welcome them, because they might lead you to what you're looking for, whom you're meant to be with. But in either case, it's always nice to have as many friends as possible, because there's so much to learn from everyone, right? So if you're usually the kind who has a small social circle, the next 30 days or so might push you to really embrace the idea of having way more acquaintances, knowing way more names out there, getting yourself out there a lot more. And you will actually find that you quite enjoy it. That is so exciting, Pal 2. You're a real social butterfly over the next month or so. But in the next 3 months, where is your love life? We have the Emperor. Ooh, we love him. And to clarify, we have the 9 of Cups. Okay, you might find someone, I'm not gonna lie to you. You might find someone that is very, very... Oh, I love this Emperor energy. That's possibly because I'm an Aries and that's the Aries card, self-love and all that. But the Emperor energy is like a go-getter, someone who knows what they want and go after it, someone who is not afraid to fight for what they want, someone who will take the reins when needed, and someone who will take the initiative and, plan the dates and make the decision, decide what they want. Like this, it does, okay. It feels like someone's coming in and they're going to tick all your boxes with this 9 of Cups. And this is not the kind of person to be like, oh, we can do whatever you want to. No. This person has an itinerary. This person has taken notes about what you're into, and they're going to go out there and they're going to make it happen for you. Okay? This is not the kind of person where you're like, oh, what do you feel like eating? And they're like, I don't know. No, they're going to be like, okay, let's get sushi from this restaurant. I want this, and I think you should try this, and we can like swap and all of that. Like, this person is a go-getter. This is that fire energy, and so is this. Interestingly enough, I think Judgment is Sagittarius energy as well. I think, don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure, but there's a lot of like fire energy here, a lot of air and a bit of water as well. But in either case, it's like, I'm so excited for you. Because this Emperor character, it does feel like someone new coming into your life 3 months from now. And it does feel like someone who is large and in charge. They know what they want. They're going to go after it. And they don't care if they have to fight off a whole bunch of people to get to you. They want you. They're going to get you. And you might find that quite attractive. I'm not going to lie. You might find that quite, because I'm finding it quite attractive, and I'm going to blame this on your energy that I'm channeling and not my own issues. But it does feel like you might find that this person ticks so many of your boxes, especially the new ones that you've come up with after all your shadow work. And I just see you in such a happy, emotionally fulfilled space in the next 3 months, Pal 2. And it literally starts from like a month from now, where you're just out there, you're having the best time. And in doing so, you're only attracting people who will then give you the best time of your life as well. Because you attract what you put out, right? Your oracle card says, forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Oh, the emperor, that's emperor energy. And also, be the leader you wish you had. What did I just say about attracting what you put out there? You're in your emperor era. You are in your loud and proud, I'm here, I'm in charge, I'm taking the reins era. You are in your alpha beat. And that is only attracting people of that caliber to you. So even if it isn't just one person, you find that you're surrounded by people who are really able to like keep up with you. And that might be something you struggled with in the past, where you found that because you were so quick to commit, maybe that's why this is a warning. Because you were so quick to commit, you were almost like settling for people who couldn't keep up with you, but you were like allowing it. And as a result, your growth was stunted as an individual. So now that you've settled on a bunch of non-negotiables, you're stepping into an energy where you're only attracting people who are as good as or better than you. And, it's kind of forcing you to look ahead and to set your sights higher is what I'm trying to say. And I think one big lesson that you're learning through this the next 3 months is that it's really you who is responsible for the kind of energy you allow around you, the kind of energy you invite into your life, and also just the kind of energy you hold space for. It's not some, wild, fated set of connections or whatever that's out there that's, being brought to you. No, you're starting to realize that if you want something, you need to become it. And when you become it, when you vibrate at that level, at that frequency, that's when it comes back to you. It's like a boomerang effect, and you're really starting to master that in the next 3 months. And that is wonderful. I don't even really know you individually, Pal 2, but I just want you to know I am so, so proud of you, because I can only imagine the amount of work it's taken to get to this point. And it's not been easy, and you've done incredible work. And to still then hold that optimism and that inspiration is commendable. Well done. Pat yourself on the back right now. Do it right now. I'll wait. Yeah, there we go. Good job. You're doing excellent. Okay, 6 months from now, we have the Chariot. Okay, we're still moving forward and we're still doing it. We still got it. And we have the Ace of Cups. Okay. I'm so excited for you. Oh my goodness. Oh, pile 2. Okay. I feel like 6 months from now, you're gonna find commitment. You're gonna be in a relationship. And you can see the progression. This is the best reading I could have asked for anyone today. With the Chariot, this talks about moving forward quickly, and with the Ace of Cups, this is an offer of love. 6 months from now, you're getting at least one offer for a solid commitment. In this 3 months from now era, you might be surrounded by a whole bunch of people who will match your energy and, who you can spend some time getting to know. 6 months from now, you're culling the pool. You're narrowing it down. You're figuring out what attracts you most. Once the surface level vibing is out of the way, what is it on a deeper level that you would feel comfortable committing to? And you'll find out exactly who's in it for the long haul and who is just in it for just a little quick little fling. Okay. But 6 months from now, I do see you, if nothing else, approaching commitment. And this is absolutely divinely guided, because do you see this hand coming down from the skies? That's the universe handing you love in a cup. Very, very exciting. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Pile 2, the cards speak for themselves. There's so much major arcana here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most of the cards are major arcanas. 2 are aces. The only one that isn't is the 9 of cups. I mean, you know, I couldn't have written this better if I handpicked the cards. This is incredible. You are in for so many karmic rewards going forward, because you've done the work, Pile 2, and this is incredible. 6 months from now, I definitely see you starting a serious relationship, getting into it like properly, officially starting to date someone, or some people, I guess, whatever you're into. But there is commitment, and there is love, and there is divine love, and it is beautiful, and it will come to you real quick. And I think by this point, this card won't even apply anymore, because you've taken your time and you've taught yourself how to not jump into the very first offer that comes your way. You've built up a bit of resilience, a bit of resistance even. So when this comes in real quick, you're able to consciously decide whether that's your pace or whether you want to slow it down, whether you want to speed it up. You're in charge now, because you're still in your Emperor energy. And that is powerful, Pile 2. Yeah, I mean, with the Ace of Cups, there really isn't much else to say. That's love, that is commitment, that is divine love. We're starting with an ace, we're ending with an ace. I mean, new beginnings all around. Whatever you thought you knew about love and inspiration and happiness, this is going to be a whole other level of it. Okay? So just mentally prepare yourself, Pile 2, because you're not ready. We have no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. Yeah, I think this is a time where you're really starting to say yes and no very clearly. Like I said, you might be surrounded by a whole bunch of people, but this is where you're thinning the herd, right? You're starting to decide which people are in your favor and which ones are not, and you will get a lot of offers even. And there'll be a lot that you will say no to, and you'll just like drive off into the sunset, be like, nah, this is not good enough for me. Why? Because I've done the work. I know what I'm worth now. And your offer is subpar, and I can do better for myself. I can do myself better. So this is just unacceptable. There's a lot of you. I mean, there might be a lot of self-doubt that comes up as well. And that's not in the cards. I'm just feeling that. There might be a lot of self-doubt of, you know, your previous behaviors coming up where you're like, am I in a position to say no? Yes, you are. You are in a position to say no. Don't even. Every time that doubt comes back, come back here. Come back to this timestamp right now. Yeah? And listen to me. You deserve the best. You did the work. You deserve the best. Even if you hadn't done the work, you deserve the best. So don't you settle, because I'll be mad at you forever if you do. Okay? Okay. So, yeah, man, I see you definitely taking your time, approaching these offers with a level head, maybe a little more level-headed than this Aries energy that you've been in. because both of these are water cups, and water is deep emotion. This is Cancer. I don't quite know what this one is, but it is deep emotion, but it is not stupid. Okay? So, whereas fire and air energy, I wouldn't say is stupid, but it can be a little hasty. Water and earth are slower moving. Earth is the slowest of all, but I don't see any earth here. What I do see is a lot of emotional maturity that you have rightfully earned, Pal 2. So, whatever you do, wherever you are, you can trust yourself to take your time and think about everything that comes through, not just mentally, but emotionally. Wow, that was a powerful reading. I'm so excited for you. Part two. That was your reading for what you can expect looking forward in your love life. Oh man, I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of all the work you've done. This is incredible progress. All right. So thank you so much for being here and sharing your energy and letting me read for you. This has put me in such a good mood. But I hope this reading resonated. If it did, then please do remember to like and subscribe. Comment below telling me how proud you are of the progress you've made, because wow. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks so much for being here. You can stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Pile number 3, hello, welcome to your reading. So if you picked this beautiful jade crystal, then this is your reading. I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled your cards, and we've got 4 piles. We're first going to start by taking a look at your overall energy when it comes to your love life at the moment. And you can use this as confirmation to make sure you've picked the right pile. My energy feels a little bit scattered right now, so you might be in a scattered energy. I'm so sorry. Let me just ground myself. Okay, so first we're going to take a look at your love life in the next 30 days. And this is timeless, so 30 days from whenever you're watching this. Then we're going to look at 3 months from the time that you're watching this. And then we're going to look at 6 months from the time you're watching this. The oracle cards are going to give us a little bit of advice or just explanation, whatever wants to come through. But it's been very interesting so far. So let's dive in. Your current energy in your love life, we have the 5 of Wands in reverse. And that is clarified by the 6 of Cups. Okay. You might be coming out of a situation of conflict. You might be coming out of a connection that was quite filled with conflict, filled with arguments and just constant fights or just, karmic situations. And you might find that people from your past had to step in, or people from your childhood, people from your family, whoever, had to step in often in order to keep the peace or something like that. And you're at a point where you've had enough and you've either walked away from the situation or you found a way to fix the conflict in some way. I don't know. So high conflict couples is a controversial thing, and I'm not a therapist. I don't understand counseling or any of that. But there are specific counselors and therapists that I know that work with high conflict couples. And so that might be an option that you've recently looked into or you're currently considering. But also I like the progression of numbers from 5 to 6, where the 6 of Cups talks about someone coming in from your past to hand you a cup of love. It could be that you're stepping into a connection with someone that you used to know or an ex or whatever. Yeah, that could be another interpretation is with the 5 of Wands in reverse, like there was conflict and then it's been a while and then someone from your past has just come back into your life. That could be one interpretation of it. But in either case, it feels like the worst of the conflict is behind you and you're now in a place where you're ready to receive again. So if that resonates, then this is definitely your pile. Let's look at your life 30 days from now. We have the World in reverse. And that's clarified by the Nine of Pentacles, also in reverse. So there's a couple ways in which I can interpret this. The World in reverse, it could be that maybe whoever comes in, it may not work out with them a second time around. But if that's not your situation at all, it could be that you're not really looking 30 days from now. You're not really looking for something new quite yet, because you've come to the realization that you're not quite where you want to be as an individual. Because the Nine of Pentacles is usually the card of independence, of being abundant within yourself, of, you know, reaping the rewards for all the work you've put in. But it's like you're coming to the realization, you may go out there and you may experiment a little with dating and whatnot, but you might come to the realization that you're just not quite where you need to be in order to usher in a healthy new relationship. So you might find yourself going inwards a little bit. It does feel like you want to start focusing on yourself more in the next month or so. Now, that is one interpretation. The other interpretation is you've stopped looking because it's actually starting to work out with this person and you don't feel like you need to do everything by yourself anymore. And you've stopped looking out into the world because you've actually found what you're looking for. That could be just for a small fraction of you though, because yeah, it can get messy going back to an old relationship. We have the Grasshopper Spirit, take a leap of faith in reverse. Take a leap of faith in reverse. So, I think the advice here is definitely to not jump into anything in the next 30 days. Because it does feel like you're being called to go inwards, which no one needs to hear that on a relationship reading. I know, but think of it this way: the more time you invest into learning about yourself, into growing yourself right now, the more you start to kind of polish up who you are. And that way you can have a lot more clarity on what you actually want. But, you know, we haven't really seen half the reading yet. So far, within the next 30 days or so, you're definitely being called to not jump into anything. That doesn't mean, oh, don't go out dating, don't see anyone. No, of course not. But when it comes to commitment, you're definitely being called to take it slow, especially because you might still be quite almost tender, I want to say, from this conflict situation that you've just come out of. Okay, so just take it easy, take it slow. You don't need to overcommit very early. At least not in the next 30 days. That says 30. That's card number 30. That's wild. Okay. And that's 21 and 9, which also makes up 30. Wow. Okay. Numbers are a big thing because didn't I say 5 to 6? You might be a numbers person. I don't know. That's just extra confirmation, I guess. Or you might be giving out your number a lot, But don't commit to anything within the next month or so. Just, it's not. It's not. I mean, I like to think we're all divinely protected, and, especially with dating culture the way it is, we better be divinely protected, you know what I mean? But I also think that, yeah, so, sorry, my energy is so scattered with you guys. I'm so sorry, pal 3. But what I'm trying to say is it's not like it's gonna damage you or hurt you if you commit. It's just unproductive. There is still so much learning and growing you need to do before you can find a situation that matches you perfectly, because you don't even quite know what you want. And committing too quickly might delay that growth journey that you're going to have to go through regardless of when you do it. Okay? Next 3 months, though, we have the 9 of Cups in reverse. And that is clarified by the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, still not investing in anything 3 months from now either. The 9 of Cups in reverse, it feels like whatever options that are coming your way, they're not quite emotionally fulfilling you the way that you want to be. And that might be a good thing. That might be a very good thing, because it means your standards are high. It means that you're not settling, you're not accepting situations that are not good enough for you. And that is excellent, because it weeds out the competition. It weeds out the not so savory characters early doors. And to clarify that with a Page of Pentacles, again, you're definitely not quite in a committal energy, is what I was trying to say. You're not quite looking to leap into anything. And I think at this point, you're starting to enjoy that part of it. Right now, you might not feel like you want to be alone for that long. It is only 3 months. It'll go by in a flash. But you might be in a space where you're like, no, I want someone. I'm so alone. Like, why would you say that to me? But listen, you're getting to a stage where you're enjoying the attention without the commitment. And that's a good thing, because it means you're able to almost like sandbox mode dating. Does that make sense? It's like you're able to experiment and have a look around, get a feel for what's out there, but without forcing yourself into restrictions in order to please someone. Because there's so many people that are looking to please you, and you're trying to figure out what actually does please you and what doesn't. That's the energy I see you in 3 months from now. You're holding everyone to a very high standard, and anyone who doesn't meet that standard, it's not like you committed anyway, so they can just show themselves to the door. Thank you very much. Your oracle card is Star Keeper, Cosmic Ancestor. See the light by staying grounded. That's interesting. That's the first proper starseed card that's come out in this reading. Definitely, you're learning to be a lot more grounded. And you're learning, I think, to nurture your inner light. That seed the light is really speaking to me. You might find that around you, there's a lot of advice going on. You might find that you have a lot of spirit guides around you trying to contact you in this time. And so you might be more occupied with your spiritual development than, romance or dating or whatever. You might find that actually you'd like to explore this aspect of your life a little more before you then look at any of the other like 3D world stuff. I do think you have a lot of guides around you, specifically guides, people or spirits, I guess, who want to show you how you can find joy, how you can best live your life in order to make yourself happy. And I do feel like these spirits are learning to communicate with you, or you're learning to communicate with them over the next 3 months. And as a result, you're able to really discern what energies you want as part of your life and which ones you just want flushed out. And you might find that it's quite easy for you to ask these guides to help you in that process, to help you get rid of like toxic energies and anything that isn't acceptable for you. And they'll be more than happy to help. But you do need to stay grounded because it can get quite addictive, having all these people stepping towards you. And, you know, when we meet people, we tend to sort of lose ourselves in them a little bit. And that's perfectly natural. But when you meet enough people, you might lose yourself completely in them. So stay grounded. Make sure maybe right now what you can do is get into the habit of having a grounding practice. And so by the time you get to 3 months from now, that's just your default setting, is to be grounded, to be solid, to know who you are and to not compromise on that whatsoever. 6 months from now, let's see. We have the Hierophant. And that is clarified by the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. 6 months from now, you might, okay, this has nothing to do with your love life, but also it kind of does. You might find yourself like going back to school or changing jobs and going back to like a earlier stage job because you're like changing careers completely. The Hierophant talks about like institutions. It talks about doing things a certain way. In many cases, it also talks about education and school, because schooling is an institution. And then with the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, where you're not working, it's kind of giving me the feeling that you're going back to school to learn a new skill, to learn a new vocation. You might go to trade school of some sort, because like with this person hammering into these pentacles, it kind of feels like you might go to trade school. Whatever it is, I think at this point you'll realize why you weren't quite committal through this whole time, because when you get to this point, you're like, oh, it's a good thing I'm not like having to walk away from a committed relationship in order to make this change. Like, you know how it's kind of giving me the vibe of high school couples when they then go to university and college or whatever, and they have to split up because they're going like to completely different places and it's not sustainable and that kind of thing. You're kind of getting to that point where you're like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't jump into anything, because not only would it have been hard to do long distance or to break up with someone, I might also have let this opportunity pass me by in favor of a relationship that may or may not have worked. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like you're relieved that you didn't jump into a commitment earlier, because it's left you free to take this leap. It's like an opportunity that's coming your way. I'm almost getting the feeling that it's something you've always wanted to do, but you can necessarily afford to, either financially or like in terms of not having the time. Maybe, you know, you have children and they're finally at a point where you can go out and do what you want, like they're finally grown enough, that kind of thing. But it feels like you're stepping away from what you know and you're going back to like a beginner's mindset with this Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And as a result, it's, in terms of your love life, it's like, oh, thank God I didn't get into like a serious relationship, because this bit would have been really hard. And I feel like you're the kind of person who has historically stuck around for way longer than you should have. And so if you did jump into a new relationship, you would have potentially thrown away this opportunity just in order to prove how committed you were to someone else. Yeah, I think 6 months from now, your life is all about realizing that everything happens for a reason and that divine timing is always at play. But it doesn't mean you've sat around idle. You've probably definitely dated around by the time you get here. But you haven't committed to anything, and it's at this point that you realize why. Your oracle card is soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Yeah, I think when you do take this opportunity, whatever this is and however it applies to you, that's when you really step into your soul tribe. Because that's when you really step into your soul work. Yeah, it feels like you're finally approaching your life's calling. And for whatever reason, I'm getting the feeling that you've spent so much of your life not knowing what you were meant for. And a lot of that might have had to do with your relationships in the past. And now you're in a place where you're like, I can finally pursue what I was always meant to do, what I was put on this planet for. And then when you do that, you start to step into your soul's mission. And your soul's mission is never done alone. It is always done with kindred spirits. So it might help to sort of psychically put the call out for your soul tribe, and then that might bring the opportunity to you. Or you might hear from the grapevine that an opportunity is going around and that's how you find it. But in either case, I think this either leads to your soul tribe or comes from your soul tribe. And maybe that's how you actually find your soulmate. Or like the person or people that you're meant to spend the rest of your life with. And that's why, these delays are important. Are a crucial part of your path. Very interesting. So that's your reading for today, part 3. Let me know how it resonated, because I'm really curious about your situation right now. Comment below. But I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for being here today and sharing your energy with me, spending your time with me, letting me read for you. I really hope it's brought you a bit of clarity and a bit of support. If it has, then like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You can stick around to the outro just after this for another video on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.